I love dog-based Christmas films, and generally I'm usually really easily pleased, but unfortunately, with Alone for Christmas, also called Bone Alone, I wasn't very pleased. There are a couple of good things that I'll mention, but in general, it's not a good film, and I will explain why, but I won't give any spoilers, just in case you decide to watch it. This was released in 2013. It's directed by Joseph J. Lawson and written by Nancy Leopardi. And we have a cast including, well, Hooligan as the dog Bone. I love that name. I think Hooligan is a fabulous name. And we have Bill Pomeroy voicing the character of Bone. We also have Kevin Sorbo, and the cast is very good. The performances I have absolutely no problem with. I think the acting was pretty decent. The narrative is an interesting enough concept, but I think they handled it really poorly. A family are visiting relatives for the holidays, and their dog is not the best well behaved, so they decide to leave him behind at a kennel, and by that I mean a room in a house. It's not exactly anything fancy, and I would not leave my animal there, but they don't seem too bothered. And then the dogs, who talk, which I love, find out that the kennel owners are going to go into the family's empty home and steal everything. And the dogs are not going to let this happen. And I feel like that just doesn't work very well as a narrative setup. I feel like it would have made so much more sense if the dog had stayed home alone. Not to use that phrase, but if the dog had stayed completely home alone, but with a dog sitter coming to the house. I'm definitely somebody who thinks it's better, depending on the animal, of course, but I personally think it's better to leave the dog in their environment and have somebody come into the house to look after them rather than taking them away to a different location. And I think that would have made so much more sense for the setup and having the dogs traveling this distance. It was really unrealistic. And I mean, the film's about talking dogs, but it's unrealistic and unbelievable. And the dogs can't talk to humans, of course, but they talk to each other. And the voice acting was really good. The dogs are absolutely adorable. It's not just the narrative that doesn't work well. The film is very, very low budget. Now, I don't actually know what the budget was, but just to give a brief example that isn't a spoiler, we have some scenes in the car, obviously, as the family are travelling, and the windows are just pale blue. They obviously, understandably, filmed this in a room with, I guess, a green screen, or maybe it was a blue screen, maybe they didn't change the colour, maybe it literally was in a blue room. And maybe they were going for a blue sky, I don't know, but the windows are just pale blue. There's nothing there. There's nothing to look at. It's not convincing at all, and there are other parts of the film that just feel really cheap, really poorly done, and it's not very good at all. There are some aspects that are a little Christmassy, decorations and things, and aside from that, I guess the music and sound effects are fine. Most of the camera work is okay. The performances are fine. And the dogs are adorable. We have several different breeds, which is always quite nice to see. So there are some okay aspects of the film, but the narrative is very poorly written. It's a complete mess. And unfortunately, there are just too many bad decisions or cheap decisions that just don't work very well. Do I recommend it? I don't think so, unless you want something for company. A film that you can put on while you're doing other things. It's not annoying, it's not irritating, and the performances are fine, and the dogs are cute. But it's not something where I'd say, if you're looking for a film to sit down and watch and become fully immersed in, absolutely not. But maybe as background company, every now and then you can glance at the screen and some cute dogs are there to entertain you, then maybe it's fine. But if you're looking for a good film, then Alone for Christmas is unfortunately not very good at all, but the dogs are definitely cute.